It probably won't come as a big surprise to many of you, but I'm not a huge fan of classical music. Sure, I know quite a lot of the most famous scores, but these typically come from their use in popular culture and in movies rather than from anything else. However, ever since I was a child, I've always enjoyed Last Night of the Proms. It was introduced to me when I was a kid, and I still watch it to this day. It's basically classical music for people who aren't massive fans of classical music. It's a party atmosphere, and it's laden with more than a healthy dose of patriotism. However, over the last few years, it does seem to have become an increasingly politicised event. We have seen, in the most recent Last Night at the Proms, a bit of a deluge of EU flags in the wake of Brexit. This may be the reason why the BBC, who co-run the Proms, have decided to put out some information regarding what flags are and aren't acceptable at the upcoming Last Night. Sorry to interrupt the video, just wanted to say a quick thank you to everyone who supports the channel. If you haven't done so already, then I do ask that you kindly click the subscribe button down below. 97% of people who watch these videos aren't currently subscribed, which is crazy, right? It's totally free, you can change your mind, and there won't be any hard feelings if you choose to unsubscribe at a later date. If you do find these videos useful and you want to help me out, you can buy me a beer by clicking the link in the description below, and that also would be very much appreciated, particularly in this hot weather. Anyway, back to the video. This has been shared many times, but does seem to have been adapted. The original post said that flags are permitted at the Proms and are traditionally part of the last night's celebrations, provided they do not interfere with the smooth running of the concert. Some flags will not be allowed in the auditorium, including those from prescribed groups, flags related to protest, hatred or advertising. I did some digging and I couldn't find any more information as to who these prescribed groups are and what indeed a flag representing hatred looks like, or what a flag representing protest looks like. So I looked around a bit more and went to the Proms page on the BBC website. However, it would seem that they have now adapted this, and looking at the FAQs, they'd still speak about the practical elements of flag waving, i.e. the size of the flag, the length of the flagpole, etc. But anything relating to the contents of the flag or the nature of the flag or the group that the flag pertains to represent seems to have been removed. And it could well be that this is because it's become quite well publicised and quite well criticised. It will be very, very interesting to see which flags are subjectively allowed and which flags are subjectively refused at this year's Last Night of the Proms. Now, in my personal humble opinion, it should only be the flags of the United Kingdom, of Great Britain, and of the individual nations. Of course, if someone is travelling to the Last Night of the Proms from elsewhere in the world and they want to represent their country by bringing their own flag along with them from Canada or Finland or Spain or Zimbabwe or wherever, then great. If they want to come along and join in this celebration of music and of Britishness, then that's absolutely fantastic. Everybody is welcome. However, if we are, as I suspect, going to be presented with a deluge once again of EU flags and almost certainly more than a smattering of Palestinian flags, then it's fairly safe to say that this will be a typical BBC policy inclusion, whilst excluding the very people who have traditionally made up this event. I also quite look forward to hearing them sing about how Britannia rules the waves, when quite clearly we don't. We can't control the waves, we have lost control of the waves. And this will act as a stark reminder of just how much this great nation has changed since I started watching Last Night of the Proms as a child. Stay safe and stay sane, everyone.